So I just wanted to do these conversations as a bit of a Supervisee spotlight series. So we can have a short conversation, you and I, Elaine, about what it's like to work together in supervision, your experience of supervision, how we work together, and anything that feels important for you to share when you're thinking about you and me and our relationship in clinical supervision. So thank you for joining me in the conversation.
No, it's okay. It's my pleasure.
So do you want to say hi and introduce yourself and just say a little bit about you and where you're at in your counselling journey?
Okay, no problem. So I started my counselling journey after a pretty horrific breakup. And so I started quite late on in life. And I'd always got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about not being good enough for academic work or getting a career. And I've always felt a pressure to change my career. So I found counselling through being a wounded healer. Yeah, found counselling and started the journey. And then I met you because you were with me in placements. So it was straight away, soon as I met you, put me at ease at the interview, and then from then we've worked together. So I think my growth has coincided with us working together, getting over my issues with academic problems and self-worth, etc., etc. Don't know if I rambled on a bit there.
No, that was great. Thank you so much, because it paints that picture of where you've come from, your growth, what you've experienced, how you've come into this profession, how you can help your clients, and then also circling back to our relationship when that first started and how our relationship has helped you growth into being you and into being a counsellor.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And do you just want to say a little bit about how long ago that was when you and I first met then, and maybe how long we've been working together in supervision? Okay.
So it's at least 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
Which scares us, I know. Because we've been through a pandemic and puppies growing up. Yeah. They are 3 in September.
Wow.
So
yeah, so it is.
Yes. Yeah, it must be 4 years.
4 years since we've known each other.
Which doesn't seem that long at all. But a lot of change, careers worldwide, me.
Yes. It's interesting, isn't it, how, because it feels that way for me as well. It feels like, oh yes, it's been a significant amount of time and we've worked together for 4 years. We've known each other 4 years, but actually I can remember when we first met, I can remember our first supervision sessions, and in one way it feels like no time at all. So it's such a strange thing, isn't it, that we both feel that way. Plus obviously we've been through so much significant change in the world as humans and in your own personal journey as well to get to this point today. So do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience of working together in supervision, how that was when you were first in training, and then anything that comes to mind, how that's changed as we've navigated our work together and as you've qualified?
Yeah, so straight away, your nervous system talks to my nervous system very well, I think. You're very calming influence on me. Give me a lot of confidence. Definitely got me to see the good side of what I was doing with clients, etc. Before I did. A lot of support that way. And then as it's progressed and I've come through being qualified, I now feel still supported in the same way, but are still, how do I put it? Feel more like on an equal footing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad thing, but obviously at the beginning you got a lot of skills to help me with and coach me on. And as I've qualified, that's become less and less, but now I feel that equal partnership.
Yes, definitely. As you've grown
yes.
on your journey, So I can hear that at the beginning it was about having that calming influence. In our supervision together increased your confidence and helped you point out how you were working with clients and how well that was going. And then as you've progressed in your career and your development, and as we've progressed in supervision, it's continued to be supportive, but in a different way. So now we're on
Yes.
a more of an equal footing and more of a, I guess, a partnership. Have you found your experience of working with me as a supervisor then? If there's anything that comes to mind when I ask you that question.
I think professionalism and your skills and your knowledge are all just there and natural. You're natural with it. It's I just feel held. I feel like it sounds like I'm saying the same thing, but them same things are really, really important. I feel like you've given me a foundation to work from, and it was really solid.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Wow. Thank you for sharing it with me. I'm honestly a little bit, I think, just trying to find the right words. It feels very touching. I feel kind of, wow. I kind of just want to say, wow, that's what I've been able to give you. And I feel great. I also feel grateful that we have been able to collaborate together. You know, it feels like a blessing for me to have been able to work with you too. So the fact that it's given you that solid foundation, and you've found my approach kind of professional and supportive and knowledgeable and nurturing, that's huge. And I really want to thank you for voicing that in our conversation today.
No, it's a pleasure. It's as always.
Thank you. So is there anything that you would like to say to somebody thinking about working with me in supervision, and anything that comes to your mind?
I think you won't regret it. I also think, because I've been thinking about the discussion that we're going to have, because obviously I knew about it in advance, and I hadn't appreciated or hadn't taken into account how reliable you are. You've never once cancelled or rearranged an appointment. I mean, I've messed up, and you've taken that very graciously, but you've never ever let me down for any reason.
Wow.
In the whole 4 years.
Wow. Yeah. Huge. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing, and I guess that's so important to me, because I am always wanting to be, professional and supportive and be accountable to supporting you, and that's part of my role. So the fact that you've seen that and that's made a difference, that's huge.
Yeah. I can't imagine having a supervisor that might let you down or forget something, or I don't know, it must happen. I'm sure, I know it happens. So, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, amazing. So your experience then, if we circle back, your experience of our relationship and our supervision is very different to that.
Yes.
You've always felt like, held, supportive, reliable, professional, nurtured. Yeah. Amazing. Is there anything else that you would say to someone considering working together?
Yes, I do feel like I can bring anything. So I've never at any point thought, oh, I can't tell Sarah that. And that is critical for a supervisor.
Yes, that's huge, isn't it? I know in my own supervision, having that space to be able to just bring anything, that is huge, critical, as you've said. And I'm so glad that you feel able to do that in our space together.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. That's massive. And as you say, not to be underestimated, because that is, I think, if we need to be able to be honest in supervision, bring ourselves to supervision, bring all of ourselves to supervision, so we can work with our clients and keep them at the forefront. So the fact that you feel supported to do that is massive.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else that feels important to share, or that's running through your mind when you think about this topic?
Well, now we've discussed the reliability and the foundation stone and all of that. It's just Oh, I've lost my train of thought. That's what I was going to say. I've felt all of those things even when I've not brought my best self. When it's been overwhelming with clients, or when I've been flawed with something, I've you know, that's the support. The support's there. So you haven't forgotten what it's like to be a trainee, or a new counsellor.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. It's given me a new insight, or I'm hearing this from you today, and I don't feel very eloquent, but I think there's something about having that support that's always been there, that you've been able to get from our supervision space together, that even when it's been overwhelming, or you've been stuck or not sure what to do with a client, or, you know, to use your words, you've not brought your best self, or you've not felt like your best self, you can still bring all of that to our supervision space, and feel held and supported, and I guess guided through that.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Elaine, for joining me and, you know, sharing your experience of working together in supervision. I'm really, truly grateful for that. So
no problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay. See you next month.